Hey guys, it's Amy. I'm back with a new watercolor tutorial for you. And today I think we're going to use watercolor and gouache. I'm going to show you how to make these fun little holiday cards. They're really super simple, so I feel like anyone can do them. So what I've done is I've taken some watercolor paper and I've just cut it into fourths. And I am using that to make some cute little holiday cards. I'm trying to pick things that I think would be simple that anyone can do. So we're going to use some sort of circular container to make a circle for a wreath. And we'll start out with the wreath and then we'll move on to an abstract pine tree. Now these would be good for Christmas or holidays, but you could also take a Sharpie and write a cool saying like Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas on top of them. So simple way to do holiday cards. So we'll start with the wreath and I'm going to grab a jar. You could grab any sort of circular item that you could trace. And I'm going to try to center it on my little note card here. And go ahead and draw a little circle. It doesn't have to be completely symmetrical. That's totally fine because we're going to make it abstract with the pine wreath here. So the first pass that I'm going to do a couple of different layers, but the first pass I'm going to do on this wreath is going to grab some green and a medium-sized brush. And I'm not going to be very careful the way that I'm doing this. So I'm just going to go around the wreath and sort of blot it. In one direction. And what I want to do is just follow my circle and kind of give the wreath some shape here. But then again, a wreath is not going to be perfectly symmetrical. You're going to have all kinds of different little pines and flowers and things sticking out of the wreath. Okay, so it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. All right. Okay, so I like that circle. And for fun, I made my wreath into a peace sign. So I'm going to go ahead and add the inside of the circle right now. I'm going to bring down this middle line to about the center of the circle. And then create the peace sign, the little triangle here. And that is it. I'm going to let this guy dry and I'm going to move on to the abstract pine tree while this guy dries. Okay, now I'm doing two cards at one time because there's a lot of drying involved here. So I'm going to work on the pine tree and get that guy set up too. This pine tree is going to be sort of messy and sort of just really quick. So I'm going to start at the top with the point of my brush. And then I'm just going to sort of sway back and forth in the shape of a triangle. So you're getting that fun Christmas tree shape. But then again, we're abstracting it. Okay, so something like this. You can add some little points to the sides. You can leave some blank white space. Again, we're not going to add too much to this card. It's going to be really simple. Okay, so I'm liking that. I like that shape. Next on this card, I'm going to go ahead and wet my brush, and I'm going to add some splatter in a dark blue. You could choose a different color if you want. So what I've done is I wet my brush and I got some pigment on the brush and then I wet it again. Okay, so now I'm just going to splatter some colored water onto this card. And you can kind of choose when you want to stop here. Okay, I think that looks good. You could add multiple colors too. Okay, so now while everything is drying, I am going to work on something else and I will be back in about 15 minutes to show you the next steps. Okay guys, so my little wreath has had a chance to dry. So I'm going to grab a smaller brush and come in with a second coat of green. You can use a darker green or same green, but this time I'm just going to add a little more texture all the way around with the smaller brush. Okay guys, so that's my second layer. So next layer, you can come back with some acrylic or some gouache colors, and we'll add some white, some pinks, some peaches, reds, and yellows. So I'll leave it up to you which media you prefer, but we want something that will look relatively opaque around the peace wreath. All right guys, this second card is almost dry. It's dry enough for me to add a second layer. So I'm going to come in with some more green. And this is really such a simple little card, simple little Christmas tree. I'm just going to darken parts of the tree. So darken this up just a bit. Just following the shape, the triangular shape. At the edges, if you want it to look more tree-like, you can break up the edges just a bit. And again, we're going to keep it pretty abstract. So I'm not going to color in this whole tree. I like how this looks. I'm going to add a little light brown stump to the tree. Just a little square at the bottom there to finish it off. And I think that looks great. It's just such an easy way to make like a nice little gift tag or a nice little gift card for someone. And then, like I said, you could always use a Sharpie to write a really nice message across it. But it looks great on its own too. All right, guys, so now our wreath has had a chance to dry. And so I'm going to take some gouache colors and just go over the top of it and add some nice flowers. You could also use acrylic paint. Sometimes it covers a bit better. For today, I'm going to start out with some white gouache. and a small brush. And I'm going to start by adding some small white flowers around the wreath. They don't have to be exactly symmetrical. It's probably better if they aren't symmetrical. And I'm going to leave space for some bigger flowers as well. Okay, I'm going to go back around again, and I'm going to add some peach colored flowers, which I will get by adding a little bit of light pink to a little bit of red. This one's called Red Bloom. Go ahead and mix those up a bit. Right, with the detail brush, I'm gonna go ahead and go back to my watercolor. Mix up some green. I'm just going to add some darker bits of green that can be the pine. Now that I've gone and added a bit more dark green, you could also add the dark green with the gouache or acrylic too to make it stand out. Today I'm just doing more watercolor, but if you can see the difference, the gouache covers a bit more opaquely. So if you want this look, you'll go with the watercolor, and if you want it to be even darker, then you're going to go with the gouache or the acrylic. I'm going to rinse out that same detail brush, and I'm going to grab, let's see, I'm going to grab a little bit more white on my palette here. And with the last step, I'll just sort of detail out. When I say detail out, I mean add a bit of white to these peach flowers. And then I'm also going to go around and add more white to the wreath itself. Okay, so I want to brighten these whites up just a bit. And go in a circular movement. And you'll get that bud look. All right. All right, guys, and there you have it. This mini piece wreath little card. Super simple, great for holidays. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and these mini cards that we've made. And I hope that you will check back for new videos. I'm trying to do more videos every week. And yeah, if you like my content, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe. And I'll see you back next time. Have a great day.